Today we'll be taking a look at how to use Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is a tool provided by Google which gives you a lot of data which can help you from a technical as well as a search engine optimization perspective. So this is the interface of Google Search Console. The first step when you start using this tool, which I'm not going to cover in this guide, is that you have to connect it to your website, and there is a verification you need to do so that you can start seeing your website data in the Google Search Console tool. So I have already connected a website. So if you look on the top left corner, it says ipcs.co.in. So I've already connected this website, and this is the search console for that particular domain. Now let's go through each section of the tool and see what it has in store. So first is the overview page. So here, if you see the first section, it says site analytics for content creators. And then there is a button which says search console insights. So I'm going to click on the search console insights. Now, if you see here, you will see information regarding to the domain. It talks about the performance on Google. So there's not too much traffic on this website, but if you look at the past 28 days, we have got around five clicks from Google search. Then it talks about the growing content. So as compared to the previous period, I can see the project engineering page and the projects page are doing good. It also talks about the most popular content which has got the most clicks. So I can see the home page and then the projects and project engineering page which has got the most clicks in the past 28 days. So and then we have how people find you. So most of it is through Google search in this case, but if there are other sources, it will show up here. So this is a very neat way of quickly taking a look at what has happened to your website in the last 28 days. Now let's go through the other aspects of the overview section. So you have a widget called as performance, which shows you in a nutshell how many web search clicks your website has got. Then if I scroll down, we're going to look at all these sections in detail. If when I scroll down, I can see how many pages on the website are indexed on Google and how many of them are not indexed. Then I can see from an experience standpoint what is the mobile usability of the website, what is the page experience, and what are the core web vitals. And then there is a announcements widget which doesn't have any data as of now. So all of these are like widgets on the overview section, but each of them have a detailed section which is on the left hand sidebar. So let's go through each section and see how we can use them. So first comes one of the most important, which is called performance. Now let's take a look at the filters which are there. So if you look at this, you can uh, filter traffic coming from Google web search or image, video, news, and then there is a comparison if you want to do a compare. So I'll keep it at web as of now, and then you can of course change the date range to see how much of data you want to see. Okay, let's do it as last 16 months to get the most amount of data. Apart from that, I can add other filters, like if I want to see the performance for a particular keyword. For example, I can put in the query filter here, and then let's say query containing valuation, because this is a real estate valuation firm. So I'll just apply this, and you can see then it has narrowed down to the keywords which have valuation in them. Similarly, if I click on this, okay, let me just remove this, then I can do similar thing for any page on the website, right? I can also filter by a specific country, and I can also look at traffic which is coming in through a particular device. So I'm going to leave it at this. So we've taken a look at the filters. Now, if you look at the metrics which are mentioned here, first one is total clicks, which tells you how many clicks are coming to the website. Then you have something called as total impressions, which tells you how in the selected date range, how many impressions this particular site has seen on Google. And then you have something called as average CTR or average click through rate. So what is the overall click through rate of the entire website, right, on Google for different keywords. and then you have the overall average position of all the keywords that this particular website is ranking for on Google. Now, one important thing that you can do here is you can actually click on average CTR and click on average position. So this is a little non-intuitive, but once you do that, you'll see two things. One is you will see this information popping up on the uh, graph below, which has date on the x-axis, so you can see, how the average CTR and average position has also progressed on this time range. And then if you scroll down, you will see here where clicks and impressions are mentioned, right, as columns. Now even CTR and position have started showing up after you have clicked on these two metrics over here. So if I remove average CTR here and I scroll down, you will see the average CTR column has disappeared now. So I'm going to click on it to display maximum information. And then on the top, there are these different dimensions that we can use. So first one which is selected here is queries. So I can see, so it is sorted by clicks. So pro engineers is something which has got a lot of clicks, sorry, one click to the website. Let's do one thing, let's sort it by impressions. So I can see plant and machinery valuation project report has got 553 impressions. But if I look at the position, it is around 59 position. That means it's appearing somewhere on the fifth or sixth page, right? So one of the things which I really like to do with the performance report is I like to first download this list of keywords and then sort it by impressions like we have done over here. And what that tells us is, these are the keywords which are, ranking on not the first page, let's say, maybe, but especially those who have zero clicks, but on uh, page, on, let's say, the second, third, fourth, fifth page of Google. So if we go ahead and tweak the content for this particular uh, page, then there is a very high possibility of it to rank further up. And let's say it starts ranking on page one. If the content really becomes good and we build some really good links to that particular page, then we'll immediately start seeing a lot of clicks coming in to this page, right, and help with our search engine optimization efforts. So I think that's a very good use of this particular report, wherein you prioritize which content you might want to go after next, right? So that the time duration in which you will start seeing results will be the shortest. So if there's another very good hack which I can tell you, like for example, let's say plant and machinery valuation project report. Now you would want to see, which page is coming up for this particular query. So I've just copied this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a filter here for this query, right? I'm going to apply this. So it's going to just filter it for this particular query which we were interested in. And then on the top here, now I'm going to click on pages, right? So what this does is, like, for this particular query which we have filtered, plant and machinery valuation project report, I want to see which is the page which is actually showing up as impressions. So when I click on pages, I can actually see this page, valuation of assets. So I've narrowed down the particular page which has the potential to rank for this particular query or keyword. So as a next step, what I can do is I can note this and the keyword and the page URL, and then I can go and see how I can uh, make the content richer or enhance the content on this particular page, so that it starts ranking for the particular query which we just saw, right? And if we do a good enough job and we build some good links to the page, there is a very high probability of it uh, gaining a lot of traffic in the next, let's say, 2 3 months or so. So if we repeat this activity, so I'm going to remove this query filter now. So if we keep on repeating this activity with all these different keywords sorted by impressions but not getting clicks, we will get a very handy list of content to enhance and go after. So yeah, I mean, I hope this gives you a good gist of how you can use the performance report under Google Search Console meaningfully. Now let's take a look at some of the other sections which are there on Google Search Console. So next is URL inspection. So when I clicked on URL inspection, you can see that there is this box which says inspect any URL in the particular website, which is ipcs.co.in. I'm going to go here. Let's say I click on projects. Okay, so this is the particular URL. I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste it in this box so that we can inspect it, right? So when I click on it, you can see it says retrieving data from Google Index, and now it shows us some information for this particular URL. It says the URL is on Google. That means it is indexed, right? You can also see the crawled page. In fact, if it, let's say you've just launched a page, right, and you want to get it indexed or show up quickly on Google, you can just paste this URL over here and then it will show it's not on Google, but then you do have the option to request indexing. So you can accelerate the indexing of your new page on Google using this, so that it shows up faster. Then it's indexed, and from a mobile usability point of view, it says page is usable on mobile, right? There is also an option to test the live URL, and this might take a minute or two. But since I can see all verified marks, I'm assuming that everything is proper for this particular page. So I'm just going to cancel this. Now let's take a look at the indexing section. So first we have pages, right? So if I look at like at a glance, I can see that on this particular website there are 11 pages which are indexed and getting ranked on Google, but there are right now 12 other pages on the website which have not indexed for three particular reasons. Now we would want our maximum pages on the website to be indexed on Google, because if if your pages are not getting indexed, then they don't have a chance to rank and bring traffic to your website. Let's scroll down. So these are the, so here Google Search Console is actually telling you why the pages aren't indexed, right? So there's for example, there are 10 pages which have some redirects. uh, there's one which is crawled but currently not indexed. So when you click on any of these reasons, it will do a deep dive and tell you exactly what's the URL of that page. So if I look at this one, there is a project page which currently is not indexed, right? And then when I click on it, it gives me suggestions to for inspect this particular URL, or I can also test robots.txt, whether I've put in any clause in the robots.txt file which is blocking this page from getting indexed. Now, further on the indexing section, you have sitemaps. So, I have not submitted a sitemap for this particular website, but if you have a WordPress website where you can, use plugins to automatically generate sitemaps, and once you have the sitemap generated on your website, you can put in the sitemap URL and submit it, so that Google, this information gets submitted to Google, and all the different URLs on your website can be crawled. Next is removals. So if there is any content which you want to be removed from Google, you can submit a request here where you can put in the URL, and you can ask Google to maybe temporarily remove it, right? And if you have submitted any such request, you can see all of them over here. So next we have the experience section. So if I click on the page experience, so sadly we don't have enough data here, but otherwise you will be able to see how the page experience of your web page is according to Google. So let's go on the next section, which is core web vitals. So basically, core web vitals is similar to page speed insights, wherein it gives you a lot of technical information about how your website is functioning both on the mobile and desktop. So there's not a usage enough data. So I mean, Google is telling me to try page speed insights. That will open up a separate tool, so I will go into that tool maybe sometime later. But this is a good section to find out the core web vitals for your website. Next, we'll go to mobile usability. So if you look at this at a glance, I can see that 10 pages on my website are usable on mobile, whereas there are none of them with any issues. So seems like the website has done a good job with this. And then there's a section called security and manual actions. So in manual actions, basically, if there is any violation of any guidelines from Google by your website, then Google might take action against your website or a page, and all those issues will be listed over here so that you can observe what has happened and then take action so that the issues are resolved, and then your website again starts getting traffic. There are no security issues detected too, which is a good thing. Next are some legacy tools and reports, which I will not get into because they are legacy tools, so probably might not be a good idea to use them anymore. But Google has just given you shortcut links here in case a need arises and you want to go and use a tool which is outdated, right, in today's time. Another interesting section, which I would definitely urge everyone using Google Search Console to check out, would be links. So I'm going to click on links here. So let's see what information it tells us. So first at the top, I can see there is a segregation between external links and internal links. So if I look at external links, which are the top link pages, so I can see that there are 11 pages on my 8 pages on my website which have uh, 11 external links. So the homepage has 4 links by 3 linking sites, and all of the other 7 pages have one incoming external link from one site. So this is a small site. Otherwise, I mean, you get a lot of good information for free essentially by this tool in terms of who is linking to you. Here I can see which are the sites which are linking to me. So I can see Infobel, Bharat Biz, Just Dial linking to this particular domain. If I click on this shortcut, I can actually open up the site which is linking to that particular domain. So if I open this, I can see there is a particular directory which has started linking out to the website. So under links, we can also see what is the anchor text, like the top linking text. What is the anchor text which these hyperlinks are using to link out to the domain? So, for example, here I can see website or the domain name, awards, projects. Now, on the next section, which within links is internal links. So, internal links are basically links from the web pages on your website, right, to other web pages on your same website. So, basically, it's internal to your website. So, it's called internal links. So, here you can see all of the pages mostly have 10 internal links. So, for example, if I go to the services page here, so through the top nav, you can see, that it's linking out to a lot of the other pages. And then there are a couple of links here in the form of buttons too. So that's the link section where you can get a lot of information about your external as well as internal links. Next, we'll take a look at the settings section. So here I can see that like I'm a verified owner of the domain. And then what I have maybe linked this Google Search Console with the Google, with my Google Analytics, so I can see that information over here. I can configure users who have access to this particular Google Search Console account. I can add users here in just in case I want to grant access to some other people. And that typically happens when you're, let's say, working on your website with an agency, or there are more people in your team, or you're working with freelancers whom you want to give access to the website. So typically that's when this is used extensively. uh, okay, you can do a change of address in case this site moves to a new domain. You can inform Google that this change has happened so it can register it. You can do a bulk data export of your performance data to BigQuery. And then you have crawl stats from Google Spider, which you can actually open the report and find out. This is typically not used as much. So these are the main components of Google Search Console, and in a nutshell, it allows you to look at a lot of your performance data. You can use it to figure out what's working well, and also create a prioritized list of things that you need to do to start getting more traffic from your website. Then you have URL inspection and indexing and experience section, which allows you to do a lot of technical optimization of your website. And then finally, you have the link section where you can actually take a look at your external and internal link data. And if there's something missing, or let's say there's a site linking to you, for example, externally, which you might not want to link to you, you can maybe go and reach out to the webmaster of that website and take those kind of actions. So that, in a sense, is Google Search Console, and it's a great tool. And I would definitely recommend you to check this out. And if you have a website or a domain, or you're planning to build a website, I would definitely recommend you to create this account and connect it to your website, so you start getting all these insights for free.